All right, all right. Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you're doing well today. I'm still doing pretty good. I'm actually surprised. Things are getting better for me. I think I own this a little more. It's a little easier for me to do this. I think that's the biggest thing, is just to be myself, right? Yep. I was sitting there thinking, when I talk about living your best life, and I guess it comes back to the why should you care about this? Why should you Why should you even care about what I have to say or this whole idea? I guess it depends on where you're at. I mean, I care about the idea of living my best life because one of my biggest fears is getting to the end of my life, and it's going fast, by the way. I'm running out of time. It just feels like the time is just ticking by. But when I think about getting to the other side of my life, where all I have is my past, I'm getting close to the end. What scares the hell out of me is that I don't want to ever wake up and realize, damn, you could have done a hell of a lot better. You missed out on this. You didn't do that. And granted, let's be realistic. None of us will ever accomplish or do everything we dream of doing. But to not allow ourselves to actually entertain that idea is where it really gets scary for me. That's why I'm always changing and learning and doing, right? For those of you who know me from work, and I've always had a sideline. I've always been involved in some sort of activity that challenges me or requires me to learn some new skill. And I look back now and I think, damn. I mean, I was a martial arts instructor. I got a brown belt in Kempo karate, right? As a self-defense instructor, deputy sheriff, PR 24 certified. I was a mortgage broker, concrete contractor, general contractor, digital artist, photographer. And people, most of my circle of friends, they're like, well, I'd get criticized. They'd say, well, you don't stick to anything. You don't stick to anything. Well, maybe it's the energy in the universe, but I know it, right? I know how to do graphic design, and I know how to shoot photography, and I know how to do video now, and I know how to do a podcast, right? Part of it is because there's so many things in the world I still don't know how to do, and I keep chasing them because I don't want to miss out. I don't want to get to the end of my life and I look back and at the end of my life realize there was this thing and I did it and it was friggin' amazing. And how do you do that? You owe it to yourself to step outside your box and discover what you don't know. All right, let's just take a look at where you're at now. You're doing what you're doing right now. You have established with yourself and with the world that you are actually able to accomplish where you are right now. You are on this rung in your life. You're sitting on that rung on the ladder of life, right? You're sitting right there. You've accomplished it. Okay, what next? We talk about living our best life. Part of the reason that we become stale and stagnant and become that unchanging worker bee is because there's a part of us that doesn't want to push that wall down and accept the responsibility of change. But my point to your resistance is this. You're going to face struggle. You're struggling right now. You're struggling financially or emotionally. You're struggling with your relationships and with who you are, your identity, your job. If you're going to struggle for something, why not pick something cool? Why not pick something that actually might take you to a new level, might improve some aspect of your life? But in order for that to happen, it requires us to take that action in that direction, You have to test life out. You have to say, I wonder what this would be like. Let me try this. And what's ironic about it is in the last year, in 2020, we were locked down since March, right? A whole year. The perfect opportunity to acquire some new skill, to experience some new thing that you haven't had the time to experience. Granted, sure, I understand the world is falling apart, right? The world is coming to an end. But as long as we're still alive, we still have the opportunity to learn, to grow. In order for you to spawn that growth, you have to find a direction that you haven't actually explored yet. You've already proven that you can wake up every day and do the thing you do. Prove to me that you can actually build a schedule or build your life around what you love rather than what you are doing now. And of course, if you happen to love what you're doing right now, that's great. You wake up every day excited and energized. But there's a good way to tell. There's a couple of tests to that theory. When you say, oh no, I'm happy, I love my life. Here's a couple of tests. First of all, if you're in love with your life, if you're amazed by your life, then your life is not static. You are not sitting still for the next 6 months. If you're engaged with your life, you're not sitting still. You're learning something. You're teaching something. You're doing something. There is something on your horizon that you're still trying to capture. And the other indicator that you are on track with your life is amazing, is when you look at those elements of your life, they're in order. You got that house with that big yard, no big deal. You love yard work. That's your shit, man. That's when you get in your head. That's when you have time to think about what's next, about how to accomplish that thing you're working on, right? Your house is in order, your cars are in order. And it's not a judgment to whether or not you are a good housekeeper, or you keep your cars clean or what. Because if you're not into vehicles, if you're not into that, you're not going to keep a clean house. You're not going to keep your cars pimped out like a guy who loves his pimped out car, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But if that's the case, don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself into the idea of buying a fancy-ass truck because you know how cool it's going to look when you actually know in your own mind that the payments are going to kill you and that you're going to not want to clean it after about the first 2 months. Like, I don't have time. I'd rather be surfing, right? Accept the reality. But in order for you to get there, in order for you to take that path, you have to knock down a wall and you have to step into something that you're uncomfortable with. And the biggest hurdle that I face and that I see in people is the fear. You see the look on people's faces when we say, oh yeah, we live full-time in a fifth wheel. You don't have a house? Oh my God, you don't have a house? That's what we get, right? It's like, they just look, yeah, lady, we're homeless. Yes, no, we have a house. We have a house that has wheels. We pull it around with us. Pretty cool. We keep our bed in it. We keep our bathroom in it, our kitchen in it. We keep all our stuff in it. We can live anywhere in the country, anywhere on the continent, pretty much. Canada, Mexico, United States. And they get all freaked out, like, oh my God. What do you mean? How do you do that? You mean you're not just, you don't want to just be stuck in one spot, obligated by debt and obligations to take care of the one piece of property, your land, your little piece of dirt? No. It's scary as hell. I rent a piece of dirt. Oh, that's crazy. How much? $800 a month? Oh my God, I wouldn't pay that for the opportunity to spend every morning walking on the beach in Miramar, Florida. You're probably paying more than that to do, what did you do this morning? What will you do tomorrow? What will you do the next day? It's all about perspective, right? It's all about perspective. Just because someone says, hey, this is how you do it, it doesn't necessarily mean that's how you should do it. And maybe it's great for them. But this one size fits all, this one serving life that we get where everyone is in debt, everyone wakes up every day to a lifetime of burden with one dream to retire and get the house paid off. There's another side to that, and the reason that a lot of us don't choose that other side is we don't know a damn thing about it. And when you think about it that way, and you think about the possibility that if you ever take the choice, if you ever take the step in a new direction, you could actually, you could still work, but you could be debt free. And when you're not working, you wouldn't have any of those encumbrances, any of those things you do now. You wouldn't have a lawn to mow. You wouldn't have a garage to organize. You wouldn't have a roof to repair. You'd have a place where you launch your life, where you wake up in the morning and you go to work and you come home and then you play. What's wrong with that? How can that be bad? I spent November in Florida, and I got to go to the Songwriters Festival at Floribama. And people tell me, oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. We didn't know a damn thing about RVing before we jumped into this RV. And by the time we bought our first RV, we found out they do make residential fifth wheels. Our house is a small apartment. It's 430 square feet. We have a washer and dryer, a dishwasher. They call it a gourmet kitchen. It's an RV kitchen, but it works for us. We can go anywhere we want. And it was only by stepping out and saying, what about this? Doing a little reading, watching some YouTube videos, having a conversation with each other about what we valued in life. And what we came to was a conclusion that, yes, there were things about our conventional home that we did love. I love a shop. I mean, I love tinkering. But right now, tinkering in a shop isn't nearly as much fun as what I'm doing now. I'm waking up every day and I have this mountain of choices. And what's cool is because I don't have any of that old history, it forces me and Sandy to become different people. It forces us to engage in different activities. And it's cool. It's scary sometimes. It's like unnerving because you kind of want to fall back to that easy, predictable life. There's a little stress involved when you talk about heading back north, right? We've been working on the schedule and we're working on it, and it's coming along. But you kind of get a little angst about what you want to do, and it's partly because you have so many choices, right? You have so many choices. And that's what knowledge creates. That's what stepping beyond where you are right now creates. Go do something you haven't done. Go take a dance class. Go join a group you never thought you'd join. Go teach someone something. Go volunteer someplace. Go read a book that you don't think you'll like. Go read a book you think you'll like. We don't know what we don't know until we discover it. And I guarantee you, no matter where you are right now, there is a place you could be that is 10 times better. I guarantee no matter where your relationship is right now, there is a place your relationship could be that is 10 times better. You have the time, you're going to struggle. So do it. Go for it. Because guess what? It's ticking. It's ticking. I'll be 60 this year. Never imagined I'd be 60. And when I hit 70, I'll be like, I never imagined I'd be 70. Don't wait to start living your life. Don't wait to start exploring what is out there, because just because your life looks like it does, there is an abundance of things that you can do to change it, to make it better, to enhance it, to discover more about this amazing thing, this amazing gift we are given. So, I don't know, I'm just one guy. I keep showing up every day because of me and because of you. This helps me keep my train on the tracks. I ain't going off on a path. I'm paying attention to where I'm going and what I'm doing, and this helps me with that. And I just figure, what the hell? Maybe it'll help you too. Maybe you'll look at your life and you'll say, why are we in debt, and why is it so important that we had to own our house? It's not that great of an investment if you do the math, right? It's really not. 22 years, we made $150,000 profit on our house. By the time you deduct the cost of insurance and taxes and all that, we made less than $7,000 or $8,000 a year on that house for the time we had it, right? You could sell a car. You could flip one car a year and make that, or 2 cars a year and make that, without all the burden. Didn't have to mow the lawn, didn't have to clean the garage, didn't have to pull those weeds, didn't have to haul rock in, spread rock, refix the roof, put a new roof on it. I don't know, guys. There's another way to do it. I hope you'll take a look at it. I hope you'll settle in and just take a look at your life and start spending time asking yourself questions about not so much about where you are and focusing on where you are, but where you could be. And I guarantee if you pick it and you build the right story around it, it's going to be yours. So keep that in mind. Let's not forget about the kindness. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.